Hey, how are you guys doing today? My name is Eileen Nicole, and this is the Success Express. And today we are going to be diving into some secrets here. We are starting a challenge, a YouTube growth challenge, where we're going to grow our channels together. So if you are here and you have not started your channel, you want to start your channel, and you kind of don't know where to go or how to go about doing that, or you've been slacking your feet and you kind of know a little bit about it, come and join us on this challenge, and we're going to do this together. We're going to grow all of our channels together, and we're going to be going over some steps on how to do that. All right, so let's get into it. Let me just all right, perfect. So let's get started. And again, my name is Eileen Nicole. I am a success coach, and I help people get from point A to point B in their success phase, in the first phase of their success at the beginner level. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so day one of goal setting. So welcome to day one of our goal setting journey. Today is all about laying the foundation of your success by defining your long-term vision. Just like an architect starts with a blueprint, we'll begin by crafting a clear picture of where you want to go in life. So by the end of today, you'll have a deeper understanding of your dreams and aspirations, setting the stage for turning them into actionable goals. So let's dive in and discover how the power of defining your vision. Let's get into that. So the first step then is going to be um, our reflection. Okay. So find a quiet and comfortable space to reflect on your long-term goals. You're going to want to do this inside your home, maybe after work, or if you do have time before work, but you want to kind of be relaxed and have a point where you're not going to be interrupted. So go into a quiet space, and then make sure that you grab a journal or something to write down, or if you want to use your notes on your phone, you can definitely do that as well. But we're going to be jotting down some things on here. So what you're going to do is you're going to consider some questions. You're going to consider, um, what are my biggest dreams and aspirations? What do I envision for my life in the next 5, 10, or 20 years? What legacy do I want to leave behind? Write this freely in your journal. Again, you're going to want to, where do you want to be in the next 5 to 10 years? What are your biggest dreams? What are your biggest aspirations? And what legacy do you want to leave behind? Like, do you want, like for me personally, I want to leave a legacy of faith and a legacy of nursing and nurturing my family. What does, but, and to get to there, I have to do a lot of things to make sure that those goals are met. That's not just financially, but that's spiritually, that's physically, making sure that I'm healthy and able to, you know, attend to my family. What are your what are your goals? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? All right, and so that is going to be it for the reflection. You just want to make sure that you answer those goals. The next one is going to clarify your values. You're going to reflect on your core values and your beliefs, and you want to ask yourself, what principles guide my decisions and actions? So if your goal is to leave a legacy um, of empowerment or a legacy of integrity, how far off are you from there today, like right now? If you're very far off, usually people are not that far off in every single area, but they may be slacking or lacking in certain areas. Figure out what areas where you are strong at and the areas where you're weaker at, and find a way to hedge or close the gap there. And then what aspects of my life bring me the greatest fulfillment and joy? Usually this is tied to family, but it can also be tied to your career. You really want to stay away from it being tied to your career, because your career can change. Things can change and you might switch careers. So it should be tied to things, non-tangible things that may change, but if they phase out, it's going to be okay, because you can go with the flow. Sometimes with your career, you're kind of stuck in that mode. But that should be something that you should consider as well. And consider how your values align with your long-term vision. So if you have a value that you want to have a life of integrity, you don't want to say people, you don't want your family when you leave here to say, oh man, I could never come and talk to her about anything, or I could never tell them anything. They would always tell my business to everybody, or I could never come to them about a real serious issue because they're very surface level and they never really would go deep with me to try to figure out an issue, or they always ignore me. You don't want these. If you don't want these in types of values in your life, that you're just um, this mean and cold-hearted kind of person. See where you are today and try to hedge and figure out where you can really jump in and turn those things around. All right. So the next one is um, you're going to visualize your success. So picture yourself living your ideal life, fulfilling your purpose, and making a difference in the world. So you're going to do this. You're going to gather magazines, photos, quotes, and other materials that resonate with your vision. I actually have a vision board kit. If you want to have access to that, I can definitely put the link in the description. But yeah, you do this vision board. You use a poster board, a cork board, or a digital platform to create your vision board. You can select images and words, and you just put it all together. That helps you to define where you want to be. The words and the pictures helps to emote or evoke a sort of vibe, like a good vibe around your life, around your goals. That's not the only part to it, but this is good to be able to actually see it, because a lot of times if we don't see things in our frontal view, we'll forget about it, even if it's important. We'll forget about it, and it will never get worked on. So you have to put it in front of you. This is very important to make sure that you keep that goal in front of you when you go in your room. If you put affirmations on your wall, put some of your, like I would, like for me personally, for goals, I'll use Google Docs to or Google Sheets to do like trackers. I'll do those, and those are on my phone, and that's great and everything. Like that's from when I'm out and about. But when I come home, I have stuff posted on my wall to make sure that I know these are things you have to do, like my prayer schedule, like my 12-week goals. I have to make sure that those are in front of me. So when I come home and I see those things, I'm like, yeah, you still have work to do, because you can forget about these things even though they're right there, even though you've got them in your tracker, in your digital tracker. Seeing them is really important. So the next step then is going to be to again create that vision board. You're going to be reflecting and refining. So for this, you're going to review your vision board and your written reflections. And then you're going to ask yourself, does this vision resonate with my true desires and my aspirations? Like, is this really speaking to where I really want to be? In other words, picture yourself as your ideal person, and then you can start to show up as her. This is the purpose of the vision board, so that you can hedge and bring yourself closer to that person, which is you in the future. You know how like there's a activity that you can do, a letter to my younger self. Well, this is in reverse, a letter to your future self, and this is how you're going to get there. You're going to do all of these steps. Now, does this vision resonate with your true desires and aspirations? Are there any adjustments or additions that you want to make? And refine your vision based on your insights and your intuition. So if something seems a little bit off, like, oh, I need to complete this step before I can actually get here, add that to your vision board. I wouldn't necessarily take it off, like the other one off the vision board, but I would just add the first step you need to take before you get to the other step, and then move forward in that. All right, so the next step here is set intentions for those actions. So write down 1 to 3 actionable intentions to start aligning your daily actions with your long-term vision. So for example, I will prioritize self-care to maintain my physical or mental well-being. So what that means is if self-care to you is taking a nice soaky bubble bath once a week, or if self-care is you journaling once a week, if self-care is you teaming up with a workout partner to take care of your physical body because by yourself it's boring, do that. Whatever it is that you use to help take care of yourself and your physical being. For me, if it's prayer, I'll prayer. If it's me putting together, if I have to put it together, um, if I have a prayer partner, these things are important to take care of your well-being. Another thing is I will invest time and energy into building meaningful relationships with my loved ones. And this could be like once a week you link up with somebody to, like I said, like either a prayer partner or a person that you're sharing your vision and your goals with, somebody that you can trust, somebody that isn't judgmental and that's not going to tell you that you can't do it or that it's too unattainable. Um, and or somebody, or it could be your children, or it can be your mom and dad, somebody that you really want to reconnect with. Spending time to that self-care, investing in meaningful relationships. And then another one could be I will take steps towards launching my own business to fulfill my entrepreneur dreams, or starting that YouTube channel based off of something that you're passionate about. This can be one of the best ways to really kind of put yourself out there. Usually, people that start YouTube channels for a lot of the time are usually doing this because it's a passion, and that can help. That's a form of self-care. And there is a professional way that you can stay in alignment, because I know that there's trolls online, there's people online that are they can be pretty harsh when it comes to criticisms and just commenting and just making, their opinions be known. It can be pretty hard, but at the same time, it really isn't about them. It's about who you are reaching and who you are able to connect with to bring um, a positive investment to this space. And I want you to start your channel because I think that you are supposed to be starting your channel. YouTube isn't here for no reason. You in the word YouTube, it's I think it's so important right now in the political climate that we're in, the economic climate that we're in, the warring climate that we're in, for people to stand up and really speak their voices about things that matter to them, and whatever that may be, unless it's violent or something like that. But I really think most of the world isn't as violent as the world is. I think that some of this stuff is kind of facilitated, but I think it's important that we all stand up and say some things about what's on our hearts. And you building your YouTube channel is a way for you to vent that. And then you can tailor your space and make it a safe space for other people to come and do the same thing. All right. And so the next step here is going to be to celebrate your vision. You want to celebrate your vision. Take a moment to celebrate the clarity and direction you've gained. Acknowledge the power of your dream and the potential within you to turn them into reality. You want to express gratitude for the opportunity to create a life filled with purpose, passion, and fulfillment. You want to make sure that whatever you're doing, it's not something that's tugging at your spirit, like you shouldn't be doing that. Because that's kind of like spiritual debt, or like a spiritual weight that can be on you that you can't get off of you unless you really address it. And the best way to do that is to just go and follow your passion, follow your God-given passion, because that's the best way to be clear when you are pursuing your dreams. Even if it's a business, God puts many people to business to work in terms of the realm of entrepreneurship and careers, men and women as well. But you want to make sure that you are staying true to that vision. All right, so how are you guys doing? You guys okay? All right, so we are going to be closing this out here. Now that you have a deep understanding of your long-term vision and your values that guide you, You'll have tangible representations of your goals through your vision board and actionable intentions to start moving towards your dreams. Okay. And so tomorrow we're going to be working on um, setting those goals in motion and creating smart goals based off of your long-term vision and that vision board. So tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow will be day 2 of the YouTube challenge, where we're going to be starting up our YouTube channels, and we're going to be growing them together with these tips and tricks that we are doing together. All right. So if you guys have any questions about like starting your YouTube, or why you would, what doubts that you have, what doubts do you have about starting your YouTube channel? Like, do you have doubts about what direction you should go in, what kind of content you should get into, or like how long your video should be? What questions you have about starting your YouTube channel? And we're going to get into that tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.